Tonight's shave is going to be a repeat of this knot, Timberwolf knot in that darn Rob handle. Kind of evaluating the handle. My fingers are kind of big, and as you can see, this ridge right here, I wish it were a little taller because my fingers are kind of pressing in on it, and instead of it stopping my fingers, it's kind of acting more like a little ridge that's pressing into my fingertip. So I'm wondering if my hand gets used to it. Otherwise, it's kind of uncomfortable. The razor we'll use today is a Wolfman. This is the 0.67, which is one notch above the standard gap for that. This is the solid bar, and it's already got my feather blade loaded in. The feather is on use number 32 now. And that is why I picked this razor head, because it's a little more aggressive than the standard gap. And so I want to see how that razor behaves. It's possible that this blade can no longer work with the milder razors. So we're kind of just playing around with it. And a couple days ago, I used a RazoRock soap. And today I'm going to use another one, essential oil of lime. The one I used before was Pepino or something like that, El Pepino, and it was a green tobacco scent. Turns out I really like that one. This from the tub just seems to be a really straightforward, simple lime scent. So shouldn't be too many surprises there. Get my face wet. All right. Since this guy is a synthetic, I didn't have to worry about soaking it or anything like that. All right, it looks like a pretty new puck. Maybe just used a few times. Okay, we're gonna do let's do like a 30-second load just to see what happens. And there's the 15-second mark. Maybe 1 second past that I'll go. So we'll go all the way up to 46. I meant to actually shake more water out of this, but we'll just load a little wetter than usual. Moderate pressure is what I usually use. And we'll go to 47 since I kind of took it out to shake the water out unsuccessfully. And there we go. All right. I'm going to pause you to clean up this tub. So I've been debating about maybe trading this brush with another one with a different design, see if there's somebody online who is interested. But then I saw it. Look with this bowl. Perfect match for the gray in my shaving bowl here. I'm not really one to care about matching items. Just too many good soaps to try to worry about coordinating everything. Too many good soaps and brushes and things like that. We'll do that for a little bit. Now we will use my tap water, which is hard water, and all my rinsing and everything like that will be in that, and it is cold. Though it is after the middle of March, winter has been sticking around here lately. Yeah, nice. Don't really go for lime specifically. Know that that's a popular scent with so many soap makers. Based on how much lather I'm kind of coming up with here, I think we've got plenty, so we'll keep working it, getting it hydrated properly. Went ahead and put the second teaspoon in it. Don't think I've overloaded it. Made a a lot purchase. Ended up with a couple of RazoRock soaps at a great price. I'm gonna have to whip out that other item I got in that. It was a Parker SR1 shavette. And I haven't used a shavette yet. I've used a straight a few times. Now here's a little note for you. Here I am mixing. Look at this guy back here. Look how jagged he is. He's coming up to the top of the ridge and kind of staying there. I'm mixing around, and he is he builds up on the top ridge of the container. There we go. See, he's starting to build up again. That is usually a sign that the lather needs more water, in my experience. Now, different soaps are different, but look for that in your own favorite soap and see if you go ahead and use a soap when it's at that point, see if that's too dry or too wet, and that can be a good marker for you. I believe the way it's acting, I'll do a finger test. A little bit of cushion. I can definitely feel the ridges on my fingerprints. Kind of a high structure lather where you almost maybe think it's a little too dry. But you know what? It's got 2 teaspoons of water in it. And it may be too dry. Let's put just a little bit more water in it. We will refill my syringe, put just half a teaspoon in. Some soaps are low structure. That's a term that some people hate, low and high structure, but I think it's pretty applicable, relevant. There are some soaps that are kind of low and gluey. They don't lather up in clouds, you know, they kind of stay slimy and low. And then there are others that are more like this one. They get all cloudy and puffy and like this. Why don't we try it? See what happens. It's kind of a candy lime. It's not tart. I like it. I like that about it. It's not a pungent, poignant tart lime. So get my face wet and we'll load that up. Feels good. Yeah, I think I might see if someone wants to trade for another kind of, you know, custom, you know, Etsy style handle. Craving shaving or some of the other That Darn Rob ones. Like for instance, I've got this guy here, and the curvature seems just slightly different. The ridge goes higher, and so it doesn't intersect the tip of my finger in the same way, and so I don't get that same discomfort. Slathered probably looks a little dry, but it sure feels good going on. We'll see how it, the problem that you can run into, and I've said this before, is that the lather that's too dry, it's almost like it stays on top of your skin instead of connecting with it like a really slick wet, hydrated lather will. So then, because it doesn't connect, it doesn't protect as well. It's just the way it feels, and it's the way I've experienced it, and I'm trying to put words to it, but that's as close as I can get. And so that's the danger of a lather that's a little too dry, is you may not get that protection and razor glide that you're seeking. Well, starting off pretty good. Not uncomfortable. So this is a good match for where this blade is in its age right now. This is not a strong soap, and I guess that's good. You don't want to be overwhelmed by lime. It's kind of light, and one thing, because this was a little dry, I can tweak it a little bit by leaving some water on my face after this rinse here. Slicking it up just a little bit. All right. Using the ends of my razor there to clean up my lobes. Rinse time. All right. Go into the lather here. Grab some more. Again, I am liking this Timberwolf knot, which is rare for me. Most synthetics just shove me around too much. This is doing it to a little bit, but probably not to a degree that it's going to bother me. It's nice to have a big, soft synthetic in stock, to whip out on occasion, like maybe when you're traveling, or if you have a soap that has a tendency to stain. I suppose at some point in the future I could decide to use synthetics more regularly. But right now I just really like badgers and boars more. This lather's needs a little bit more water, but I'm just going to go ahead and finish it off anyway to just to kind of get the feel of it. A lot of people shave with lathers that are not hydrated enough. So let's just kind of see how that feels. When I make mistakes, I usually make them on the side of hydrating too much. So I've got lather bits flying off and dripping down and all that. I think the name of this soap really should be Hint of Lime. Kind of like those potato chips or tortilla chips. Because, I mean, it's there. You can smell it, but it's kind of light. But I wonder if I was trying to put together a tropical themed shave, or maybe if I had a bourbon scent that was really strong, kind of a pure bourbon, or I've always wondered about a margarita, type scent. And obviously you'd have the citrus and like, I wonder if agave nectar, you know, tequila there would could be made into a smell. I don't know. But this lime might be interesting to mix with some things to add a little twist to them. If I was putting together a shave to have an island theme, you know, I don't go for bay rums quite as much, and so the lime aspect might be a good way to go for my preferences. And here on the third pass is a great time for me to work on my angles with this particular razor, because, you know, the hair's been shaved already pretty well. And so that means by definition the hair is short. So if I can still cut some, that must mean that I've got a good angle. I've got the proper angle to be able to reach in and get some of that. If I get nothing, then either I have shaved so well that there's nothing to be gotten, or my angle needs improvement because it's not hitting the right spot. All right. And rinse. This aggression setting is a little on the high side for me, especially in my neck around that third pass or so. I've got to be really careful about that. I think I did stir up just a tiny bit of redness, but I don't know that I'd even call it razor rash. There's a little spot there with a few tips, and I bet I could go over that and knock it out, but I just don't feel like it right now. But this guy works pretty well in this razor, so that gives me some confidence. Bring in some of my other more aggressive razors and see how he works. I mean, he may not go as long as my Nasset. He may not go 130 uses, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see what kind of post shave. I think I have some orange post shave down there. Yeah, let's do that. Sapone de Paolo, and we'll keep the post shave in the citrus family. Again, I think I got too much. This is kind of a thin product, and so it just really squeezes out, especially since yesterday I used the I think the Prix de Provence number 63, and that stuff is a lot more dense, and you really have to squeeze it out of the tube. And so you can see the white probably on my cheeks, but that will go away. 5 to 10 minutes usually for me, and it's very nourishing. All right, just a light orange scent. I like it pretty well. That's another one that came on sale at Maggard Razors, I don't know, a year ago, 6 months ago. So I snatched up a couple of those. How much soap do we have left? The RazoRock is not as good as, in my opinion, as a Sterling, for instance, but if sometimes you can get it at a crazy sale, and so if you're really budget conscious, then you know that might be good. Though Sterling is a great budget soap, you get so much for your money, and it's slicker than this. But this was, you know, an enjoyable soap to use. It's just got a lot of competition out there. Looks like 2 or 3 passes left. There, a solid 2, easy. And I used 2.5 teaspoons of water. Probably should have used 3, but it's all right. So I'll go ahead and clean up. So after this use, so I've used this guy 2 uses now. It's pretty neat how quickly the synthetic knot just springs back to dry. Just dropped it up on the towel just a few times, and now he's ready to go. This ridge just doesn't come up enough to stop my fingers in a comfortable way. Just the way it goes. And so I think I will maybe put this up for a trade. Somebody might have one that's just a little bit different ergonomically, and we'll see what happens. And I'll keep this, I originally bought this to yank the synthetic knot out because I assumed I wouldn't like it. And I was going to steam it out and then put in a badger knot that I have kind of waiting for a home. But it looks like we'll have to wait. I'll do a trade and maybe I'll change it out for the other one. But I'm happy for this experience because the Timberwolf has let me know that he's a contender for a synthetic knot for me. Pretty neat. I'll probably pass this on to somebody else. I mean, there are just so many good soaps out there. The performance of this line is just not quite as good as just about everything else in my den, to be honest. But it's a good soap. It's just that there's so many better ones. And but if you're a lime, kind of a sweet lime type enthusiast, then this scent, at least, might be right up your alley. All right, we're all done. And the orange from the post shave is working really well with the lime, just as you would expect. 2 citrus scents. It's very, very nice. Really happy with that. And the as I said earlier, the feather worked well with the Wolfman, since it's a little bit more aggressive than standard. And so we'll keep pushing this feather into different, more aggressive razors and see what turns up. But every once in a while, I'll step back to another blade that's a little more new, because I really enjoy using all manner, especially the smooth, less aggressive razors that just deliver so much comfort. That's just kind of what I'm into these days. But it's almost time to start back up with my Nasset and push it from 130 all the way to 150 uses. I bet it'll do it. I just have to look and see which razors I want to try to use first, because that Sheraton is the only thing right now that is working for me with the Nasset. And so I use up some razors first, experience them for a little while, and then hit the ground running with the Nasset. All right. Well, hey, I hope there's something here about this shave that helped you a little bit. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Take care. Good night.